So one day you got a random email with no signature,
Yeah.
and the guy was like, "Do you want to collaborate?" Found out it's a project for Spotify. One day before you were about to record, you found that the artist you're recording collaborating with is Pusha T, no one else. And you started working on this record for 2 3 days. I think it was called Kelani.
Mm-hmm.
And Pusha T walks in, says, "I want to work on the record options," right?
Yeah, and it
All
was called drunk driving at the time, but
drunk
yes,
driving.
that was the one.
So you're going through this whirlwind of a week,
Yeah.
and you didn't get time to process it. In many interviews later, you said that at that moment you were just it was everything was just happening and you're just
Yeah.
going with the flow. Mo is going with the flow. Now looking back, what was that experience like? What were you going through at that point? What is it working like with Pusha T?
It was a humbling experience, man. That's pretty much it. Like just being, because again, like we lack the respect for artists out here. So like being respected whatever 1,000 miles away from home was wild to me. Having on my own runner, just to having my name on the stool, like this is Moh Flow's room, and just the amount of love that people had for artists and creatives out there was the wildest part of my experience. Understanding how amazing it is being in a room full of writers and producers and just sharing ideas, man. It was an eye-opening experience, and it was like one of like the biggest motivators for me. It made me love things and made me learn things like, okay, this is how. So this when I came back from that Spotify situation, that's why I learned, okay, if I want to write a hit record, or even let's like I'll speak about that later, but like, you put a room together, you have to put people together, and you can't make the song by yourself. Like no big song is made by yourself. So it was just a thing that was like, okay, now you have to step up to the plate with your artistry. It's like, oh, felt like I was chosen kind of thing, right? So that experience made me feel like we're like proud of who we are. Like again, people coming from where we came from. Me and Aham made the whole record. Anyways, we brought the song with 2 verses. Pusha T picked it. Writers in the room who had written for Bruno Mars, etc. Huge people, producers who worked with A-listers. We're saying, so what we got to do is add a tiny bit of guitar here. Yeah. That the thought of that is wild to me. That they didn't go, okay, let's change the whole whatever. No, no, no. What Aham did, the Syrian guy who came, who has nothing to do with this culture, came through. Yeah. This is okay for everybody. We're gonna add on it. So it was a very beautiful experience for us, and it gave us like pride in who we are. And I feel like it was a huge push for Aham also, where he felt like, damn, like we have something here. So we set a whole new standard to ourselves after that experience. So
Did you have this moment where you just felt like, how did I get here? I'm Mo, and look at this, is Pusha T right
mm,
there.
mm. Yeah, I mean, I honestly I didn't get the minute to do that. Like I think in the hotel, like I was on the phone with Majid, and we were picking what to do and what records to send when we found out. And yeah, I don't know, man. I feel like you don't really have the time to think about how did that happen. You're just like, damn, am I about to embarrass myself? Is he about to clean me up on the song, or am I about to stand a chance here? So, and then you think that way, and then you're in the room, and a legend is telling you, listen, look, I wrote these bars, and what about you sing over here? That itself, that exchange itself is like, it makes you feel like, okay, everything that I want is kind of possible at this moment. So, yeah, it was the moment where I decided that I owe it to myself and to where I come from to push it and to try to do better.